The only people that matter are your people. What up, champions? We're having fun in the studio today. This is Champion Reads, where we talk about best-selling books and their best principles to help you out with your best life. I'm your host, Coach Willie Blake, and I'm joined today by the founder of Champion Circle, Mr. John Kovacs Jr. And we are jumping into a new book, which is one that surprisingly came from a mentor of mine, and he suggested this book. And the book is called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. I think I said that right. Oversubscribed. And the title caught my attention for sure. And so we're going to jump into this book. And more specifically, we're going to jump into the amazing topic of the only people that matter are your people. Because when it comes down to it, that's it, right? Why would you care about other people in the realm of changing what you're doing if they just don't want to subscribe to it? For an example, as we could jump into the discussion, I'm thinking about our YouTube channel and our YouTube channel with our podcast, Champion Reads. People who don't read books might not want to jump onto our podcast. Individuals who aren't thinking about self-development or personal growth might not want to jump into the topics that we talk about. If they don't want to talk about best principles to help them create their best life, they are not our people. But who are our people? Our people are champions. Our people are the legends. They're the ones who are reading. They're the ones who are jumping into the principles that we learn and jumping into applying them to their life, because a thought is just a thought until put into action. So those are our people. And that's the topic we're going to talk about. John, I'll turn it right over to you. Tell us your thoughts as we jump into this book.
You know, there's a huge difference between sales and marketing, huge difference. And one of the things about this idea of, you know, the only people that matter are your people is you have to create your own market. That's our first principle. And by creating your own market, that doesn't mean sell people on your market. You're not trying to convince people to come over to your interest group. You create a market by creating something that you know has an interest. And then you find those people who already had that existing interest. Very rarely do you create interest in people. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you're shopping on Amazon.com and an ad pops up and you see the exact thing that you didn't know you needed that second, but you bought it anyways because it's awesome. That happens. But at the same time, it happens because they're advertising to you based on clicks, based on interests, and based on anything. If it was like TikTok, where you get a random assortment of videos that you may like because people around you like them, they're generalizing that, and you might be in the know as to what awesome viral videos are on the For You page. But it's still, you gotta take a look at this and say you got to create your own market by defining who your people are. And Ian's not here today, but Ian would double down on this, and he would say that you've got to know your ideal client. And we've heard that over and over again. It is like we're now just like changing up the weapons that we're using to beat this dead horse. And I know that's a very graphic thing to say, but I just like we're basically just getting creative here with that phrase, which is, define who your ideal client is. And we've heard that over and over and over again. But a better way to look at it is, look, what do you want to create? And is there interest around it? And if so, great, go find the people who are, and then treat them like they're the only people that matter. Because if you're too interested in what other people are selling and who their people are and how successful they're going, okay, then you're never going to have what your niche provides. A very, very like similar niche to this is both Ian, myself, and Willie do enjoy the app Pokemon Go. I know, I unveiled it. I know we're kind of
no, it's our secret.
Nerds, we're all pretty nerdy, and that is a very niche group of people because there are very few people who are in our space of living, such as motivational speakers, personal development coaches, as well as like readers and so forth, who are also outside of the world of business interested in a fictitious Japanese world called Pokemon. And I think it's interesting. But there's gonna be a niche group of people, and those are our people, like people who have the pursuit of business growth and development in their sights, but they also enjoy a little fantasy on the side, and that's a really interesting take and look at this. So we all have our interests. You go and find the people who already have those existing interests. You can't create your own market by creating the customer's interest, by selling them your interest. You just got to go find where they're at because they all have it. It's existing. It's in there. And when that random advertisement does pop on your screen, it's not that you weren't thinking about that. It's just that you realize that was something that you literally felt like I can't live without, or I have to have right now. And that's how you approach it. That's how you find it. So there's a huge difference, marketing and sales, but creating your own market, that's focusing on the people that truly do fit within your niche.
And there's two different ways you can do it. You can do it on the route of figuring out your ideal client first, which most people should go that route. Or you can do it in the way which most people attempt to do, but then realize you got to do it the other way, which is you just create something from a problem and then try to make it fit into the market. One works better than the other, in my experience. But let me share with you an example that's worked well for me. When I first started out doing coaching and stuff, I was just a success coach. Just a normal empowerment, motivational, go out there and anyone, literally anyone who wanted motivation, I'm your person. Because it was so broad, everyone was just like, I can just go to someone else who's more niche, someone who fits me better rather than just being a motivational coach. And as I was talking, actually it was a conversation with Ian and myself. It was raining after one of our in-person roundtables, and we're standing between double doors, and we're standing there. It's been about probably 45 minutes from us talking, and we're standing there, and I had a vulnerable moment with Ian. I'm like, Ian, I don't know what to niche down to, because I'm doing success coaching and I want it to work well, but no one's coming, and people just be like, oh, that's super cool, but then turn around and focus on other people. And I'm like, I want people to know what I stand for and know what I do and have it be of interest. And from there, Ian just said, well, I know you're dyslexic. Why not focus on dyslexic people? And from there went a whole nother hour conversation on that. But after we left, I thought about it. And it really came up just like, yeah, I want to focus on dyslexics. So dyslexics are in this corner, but then there's the other corner of, I don't just want to be someone to diagnose someone as a dyslexic. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a PhD. I don't want to be a diagnosis person for someone. I want them to achieve goals, actually do something with it. And so then I have this realm. So I have dyslexics on this side, and I have personal growth, career, finances, every motivation, transformation on this side. And it's like, which one do I choose? And then based off of Daniel's suggestion, not based off of it, but in coming back to it, of creating your own market, I thought, why not combine both of them? And so now I'm a dyslexic coach for adults who are entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals. So I took the realm of self-development, and I took dyslexics and squished it together into not many people are in my market of a resource for adult dyslexics that are specific coaches for like that niche. And so really when it comes to creating your own market, those ideas that you have, the experience that you have, if you're trying to pick one, see if you can combine them together, because maybe combining them together actually moves you from, I think it's the red ocean is competition into that blue ocean strategy that they talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. And to iterate our second point and to complement what you said, you can't have everyone, so you don't need everyone. And because you can't have everyone, focus in, like really niche down, create that. But again, think of it in this perspective. The only people that matter are your people. And your people are either the service you provide and they need it. They need it. Okay. They want it. They're looking for it. It's something that will solve problems and provide solutions and give them growth and access and blessings and achievements in their lives. And that's truly the importance of it. I used to think that way too. Sometimes I do, because I'm like, I have my little toddler tantrums and I stomp around the house and it's like, why can't I have everything, and I can't have everyone. But at the same time, you don't need them, because you'll be happier with the people you have. We just made a recent change. We moved houses, and we're really far away from where we were before. We moved from Denver to Austin, Texas, and we love it. Absolutely love it. Everything about the area and just the house and everything's great. But there's one thing missing, and it's we don't have any friends. And I remember the friends I made in Colorado were focused on volleyball and high vibrancy and awesomeness. And I'm here in Austin, and there's plenty of that around us. However, I just haven't like engaged in them yet. But the biggest difference is I don't have friends out here because, well, I just don't have that niche. Like I don't have that time spent looking into and building it. And you can't create what you had before without a little effort, right? You can always recreate stuff or find opportunities to build more or to build something like it. Your people will find you, but you can't just like, we built it so they will come, right? You truly have to put yourself out there. You don't need everyone. Everyone is boring. You need a niche group of people. That's my thought there.
That's it. Boom. There we go. And this wraps up this episode. No, you don't need everyone. And I think if you focus on everyone, no one's going to want you, right? I think about when I am giving dating advice to my siblings who are still single. They're just like, I'm just trying to find the one. And I'm like, sure, there's people out there, but one, I don't think there's ever the one. I think there's multiple ones, but then once you get married, yeah, make sure they are the one. But when it comes to like dating and going out there, you don't want 98% of the people out there. Like they don't fit your exact values. They don't fit your traditions. They don't fit the family dynamic that you want. What you're looking for is the 1 or 2% of individuals who resonate with you. You don't need everybody. You just need to find those few individuals. And how do you find them? Well, you just do the things that you're doing. You have your own life, and then you start becoming, for our third point, famous to a few, and then hopefully, you find that person for you. There you go. There's some dating advice on a Champion Reads podcast. But that's it. You don't need everyone.
Yeah, I agree, and it's good dating advice. Honestly, what are we? We're now teaching to. I mean, we should do a book on dating. We should read a book on relationships. But anyways, I agree, and this idea of becoming famous for a few, I love that, because too many people mix. Okay, words have so much meaning, and words have power. When you mix adages and when you mix phrases and sound bites, you're mixing the world of intentionality. So I dare to say you've heard the words like jack of all trades, but a master of none. And I think the rest of the quote is oftentimes better than a master of one, because it continues to say niche down, don't just be one thing, but be enough, be well-rounded. But when you're famous to a few people, it means that you now have a group of people who can't imagine their lives without you, right? They look forward to seeing you, okay? And there are so many positive implications of that. You can also have negative implications, but either way, you wanna be able to have a community. And the idea of micro communities started really being a buzzword a few years ago, after the word tribes was overused and so many other these buzzwords in the world of personal development. But micro communities was where influencers were shifting their focus rather than having millions of followers, which proved to have zero true outcome, to micro communities, people who really niched down and focused on their market and their product or their service or their offering, right? And that people consumed it in micro communities. That's what being famous to a few come from. I can't tell you how many times we were at the Golden Days in Colorado a few months ago, and that's where everyone brings their golden retrievers to Golden, Colorado for a day of celebration. And there are thousands of golden retrievers in the same proximity. And it is nuts. It is wild. It is the happiest energy of the world, right? But what's fascinating is my wife and I saw this guy and we're like, oh, is that who we think it is? And it's this guy on TikTok, and his name he goes by Nala Stomps, or adventuring with his dog Nala. And Nala is this famous retriever. And I got to tell you, if I told my family about Nala, they'd be like, this dog is famous? What? How do you even know this? And it's such a micro community, because he doesn't have an influence over the world. He has an influence over people who care and love about dogs. And so it's just, it's such a unique experience. And yes, we met him, and yes, we took photos with him and his dog Nala, and they were so cute. And no one else can share that because he was famous for a few. And I loved it. It was just a powerful, powerful sentiment.
Yeah, man, thank you for sharing. As we come to the close of this part of it, we're going to have several more episodes on this book because it's so great. But for the final words, I just say, be famous with the people that you know. Follow your values, follow your principles, just be you. And the people around you are going to be attracted to it. In the beginning, maybe not, because you might be, when you focus on values and principles that you might not have been in the past, then you might realize that friends start to distance themselves from you. But I'll tell you this, as I have focused on the things that matter most to me, and as I have focused on truly what I want and desire, the people who need to be in my life stick around. And I could make that a testament for John. I could make that a testament for Ian and other people that I absolutely love. It's just be famous for a few, and that you don't need everybody, but a few is enough.
Boom.
Boom.
That was
John,
awesome.
I'd love to hear your final words.
Yeah, final thoughts. The only people that matter are your people. That's easier. It's easier done than said. I know it's usually the other way around. It's easier done than said, because we can analyze this all day long. But the thing is you have people who love you. You have people who are in your circle. If you have a contacts app on your phone, an address book, and people know you, you have influence, and you have a market, and you have people you need. So just reach out to them, start there. It's super easy. And then you can go and create more. There's other people around you. So it's super easy, easier done than said.
Well said. And with that wraps up this episode of Champion Reads. If you found inspiration in it, go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on all the major podcasting platforms, as well as go to our website, mychampionscircle.com, where you'll be able to find link to our podcast, link to our socials, and everything else going in the Champion Circle universe. Until next time, champions, continue to be the best version of yourself. Continue to create your own market, and always remember that the people around you already are those important few. You don't need everybody. You just got to be famous to a few. We'll see you on the next episode of Champion Reads.